Hello, it is November 13th, 2017. This is the Watchman News and I'm Mike Callahan. So when I was looking at getting this particular heater, I could not find very much anywhere. And as far as like reviews on YouTube, I think I found one. And to be honest, it wasn't real informative. Now this is for the particular heater, the WH, sorry for the zoom there, or the focus, the WH-94H, the Soleil heater. Now this was, I think it was $43 and some odd cents before tax on Walmart.com. So anyway, I couldn't find a whole lot about this, and if you go to the Soleil website, they don't even show this heater there. So that was kind of an issue. So I figured I would kind of cover some of the stuff, tell you a little bit since we've had it, what my thoughts are on it, and again, my focus is out. So anyway, a couple little things here. So far, it seems to be a pretty rock-solid unit. It, of course, like any type of space heater, it's got its limitations, but it does really good, and I'm really impressed, especially for the price. It's got 4 elements in it. I know a lot of units seem to have 6 elements in it. This one has 4. And the interesting thing about this, and again, I haven't seen a whole lot of information, real good, valuable information out there on it. So first I'll show you. One of the questions that I had originally, because I don't know all heaters, I'm not a space heater professional, I was wanted to make sure that it had a fan, because of course you're going to need air to be forced out to do much of any good. The radiant ones are okay, but if you're in an older home or an older apartment building, if it's drafty, you know, just the radiant heaters isn't going to do that great. You're gonna need something that's got some forced air. So it does have a fan, an effective fan, and it blows out pretty well. So I noticed that question asked a couple of times, and it was never really answered when it was asked. So I'm answering it now. Yes, it does have a fan. Real quick, I'll show you the back of it here. It does have a small air filter here, and there's the back if you want to see labels and whatnot. Let me try to get that zoomed in a little, or focused a little better. So, but it does have this air filter that you can take out and just clean it in some warm soapy water, dry it out, and put it back in. You could probably also get away, I haven't tried this yet, but I do intend to. You could probably get away with putting a HEPA filter in there as well. That would help keep the air a little bit cleaner. It does have a power switch back here to turn the main power off and on. So, and I'm not quite sure what that is yet. I haven't dug and looked to see what is under that plastic guard, so I'm not real sure. It could be a fuse of some kind, or I really don't know. So, okay, now here's the interesting thing. I heard some people complaining about some different models of heaters, about the timers, about how I think some of them you could set them to not come on for so many hours. Okay, so the interesting thing about this particular heater is, if you look in the manual here, it's actually got 2 setups for the timers, and this is what I kind of wanted to point out here. For the power off timer function, you would just simply, while the unit is powered on, you would just hit the timer button, essentially. So as you can see, the unit is powered on. I'm going to reach up here, I'm going to hit the timer button here, and it will progress from 1 up to 12 hours. Now that is the power off timer function. It will allow the heater to power off after the set time. So after, I didn't see what I had it on, so I'm looking at 8 now, I believe. So after 8 hours, the unit would power off by itself. So now here's the cool thing, right? Let me go ahead and shut the timer off. I don't know if I need to hold it there to get it to shut off, or run it up through the time. I might have to run it up through the time here. There we go, I think that was it. We'll see if the LED for the timer goes out after it accepts it. Yep, it did. Okay, so now if we wanted to do it the other way here, there is actually another timer setup. You can actually have a power on timer, and what that will do will be allow the heater to power on after a certain amount of set time. So like if you didn't want it to come on for, say, 5 hours, what you would do is you would turn your power off, and then you would hit it, and you would set, say, 5 hours. I said 5 hours, so I put 5 in there. And so now, instead of powering off in 5 hours, it would actually power on in 5 hours. So you can actually do it both ways with this unit, which seems to be pretty nice. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and bring that back to 0 and let it get set there. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn the unit back on here. And if you do unplug it, and I'm sure probably if you turn the switch off on the back, it will probably reset this, and it starts out at the maximum temperature, which is 86 degrees Fahrenheit. You can change it from Fahrenheit to Celsius there, but we're in the US, so Fahrenheit is where it goes. It's got high, low, and eco. Now here's my understandings of this. The high, if I understand it correctly, is 1500 watts. The low, if I understand it correctly, is 750 watts. Now eco mode, what happens there, the heater will consume half power once the room temperature reaches your desired temperature. So it would essentially be 1500 watts until your room got to the desired temperature, and then it would kick to 750 watts. But to my understanding, it won't shut off. That's my understanding, that it would stay running, it would not shut off. So I don't know quite how economic that is, but it is what it is. The only other thing I noticed that's kind of backwards, on the remote here, if you will notice, and I thought this was kind of strange, the temperature down button is on the right, and the temperature up button is on the left. It kind of seems a little backwards compared to where we usually see that. So that was kind of the only thing I noticed. I will kick the temperature up real quick, show you, give you an idea of what it's like running, the amount of sound that it produces when it's running. I'll just kick this up enough to kick on here. It does make some noise, but it's not horribly bad. I know some people complain that they had it in their room, but they couldn't sleep with it and all that. Well, I'll tell you what, in our room we've got one of those, it's a window unit. It's both an air conditioner and a heater. And if people couldn't sleep with the noise that this one makes, they surely couldn't sleep with the noise that thing makes. So it's not really too bad. The heat that this puts out is an incredible type of heat. It's a different type of heat. In my opinion, it seems to be much more like a wood heat, like a wood type of heat. It's a very thorough heat that in my opinion, it really kind of soaks in. I love the heat that this puts out. But like with any type of space heater, it does have its limitations. You know, for our place here, this heater by itself, of course, wouldn't heat the entire place, but it sure does a great job in the living room here, and it really helps the other bigger unit that isn't as efficient. It helps it from kicking on all the time. So there you go. It again, that's got 4 elements in there. I am very impressed with it, and it will. I'll pull it down enough to where it kicks out. It does have the cool down feature, to where after the elements go down, it keeps the fan blowing until it cools down, and it doesn't really, the case doesn't get that hot, the housing doesn't get that hot. We have a little puppy over there sleeping. I'm not worried whatsoever with her. it just doesn't get that hot. She stuck her nose up by the grill there a few times, but of course, you know, when it was on and when it was warm, that didn't last long. She pulled it away. There was no problems at all. So anyway, I wanted to do a review on this, kind of show you around it a little bit. Again, this was the model WH-94H, and even on their website, they did not show this particular heater, and I don't know why, but it's not even on their website. So that's why I thought it was important. I haven't seen very many. In fact, I only found one video which didn't even quite name the model number, I don't think, but it was one video that was on this particular unit, but it really didn't have a lot of information. It really wasn't a very good review video. So we do have comments disabled on our YouTube channel. We do have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Watchman News. There's no "the" in the URL for that. Facebook.com/Watchman News. Also, the link is down in the description. I'll also put the link from Walmart in the description of this. We bought this, I noticed a couple of days later, Walmart's website said they were sold out. Walmart did offer the cheapest price of anyone else on the unit. I have noticed since then, Walmart has gotten it back in stock. I do highly recommend this heater. It does a great job. It's not a blast furnace, folks. It's not going to heat up 2,000 square feet, you know, warehouse or nothing like that. It is what it is. It's a space heater. I think it's a much better, more thorough heat than most typical space heaters. And it seems to do really well. So I do highly recommend it. And hopefully this review was helpful for you. Thanks for watching.